right, you're right here at Galaxy107fm, and well, you know, it is 8 after 11 o'clock, 15 degrees, that's a high for the day. You know, we're intelligent enough to get there today. Thursday, September the 6th. Yeah, thank you very, very much. That was reflecting off the eyes, if you know what I mean. Barbara joining us and going Facebook Live all the way over to Brooklyn, New York, to Tora Fisher's place. Good evening over there, Tora. It is an absolute pleasure to join you at your place, of course, with the Baby Raptors. Welcome along.
Oh, thank you. Good morning to you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're actually here tomorrow. How's that going?
I don't know, you tell me, what do I have in store?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll get Barbara to take the lotto numbers on Saturday night, send them to you. It'll be Friday over there. You go and buy them, you and I can go halves. What do you reckon?
That's most gracious of you.
It's a surefire thing, right? Yeah, absolutely. It has never happened before, to be quite honest with you. I don't expect it would happen again, but if it does, you know, you never know your luck. Now, you're with the Baby Raptors, the brainchild of Brooklyn-based producers Party Supplies, John Young and Evan now, tell me about these guys. How did this come together with you?
Well, it really all started with my collaboration with Party Supplies, who's another Brooklyn native. And we both just had sort of an instant attraction to each other creatively. He has this really amazing retro style, sort of a harken back to the 80s pop. And that's sort of the sphere that I like to work in when I'm writing and when I'm singing. And so I took him out to coffee, and he had never worked with another vocalist before. He really only worked with himself and with this rapper, Action Bronson. And I basically just sort of, you know, begged him to give it a shot. And when we actually finally got into the studio together, some magic started to happen. And that was really the beginning. And Baby Raptors is really more about being able to evolve and collaborate with all of the people around me in Brooklyn. That's why I really started it. And so eventually I got together with Evan Marion and we started making some music, and then John Young and Randy Runyon entered the equation and we started making music, and it's just been this sort of beautiful evolution of indie pop.
You know, I think that's where our fans are starting to relate to you right away, is that 80s kind of feel to your modern day music. It is absolutely sublime. We love it here down under, especially,
thank you.
Especially our listeners. By the way, they've been asking questions, wanting to know, of course, we asked this morning all of our listeners to email their questions to you, and believe me, for one little moment there, it just jogged up our lines. So we're going to try and decipher the best we can through this for you, to be quite honest with you. Now, at the same time, I want to talk to you about I Am My Only Love. Now, this was your debut album, and let's say at the same time, you released your EP at Brooklyn's famed, of course, venue, House of Yes. Now, tell us about House of Yes before we discuss I Am My Only Love. That's an amazing place.
It's a really cool place. It's so unique. It's unlike any place on Earth, and it actually is a block away from the studio where I record. And so it just seemed like a natural fit that we would team up for this release party. And basically what I did was I decorated the entire stage to look like a Jurassic jungle, obviously as a nod to the Raptors. And they had their in-house dancers dress up in raptor costumes, and we basically just put on this full immersive experience because, you know, we're from Brooklyn and we don't just have any old release party. We like to really get the glitter out and get the costumes going and get the lighting right. And so it was a very wild night.
You know, I would have absolutely love to have been there. I really, really would. You kind of sound like my kind of people, if you know what I mean. So I like to party as well. I really, really do. Don't let this fool you. Literally, don't let it fool you.
You look like you've seen a party or two.
One or two in the past, but I'm always up for more, if you know what I mean. Well, before we go too much further, I want to thank my man T Double J, or Thornell Jones Jr., for introducing us to get this all underway, and of course with the work Barbara's doing. I see Thornell's tuned in right now, and he's a schoolmaster. I'm actually going back to school next week, is it? To university. He's going to be introducing me to his students on the successes of the internet. Would you believe that? Which is amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love this. I really, really do. Fresh young minds to play with. And believe me, I've been playing with fresh young minds for many, many years. So I'm absolutely reveling in this. Thank you, Thornell Jones Jr., for introducing us to Tora. And now I got that right?
You got that right.
Yeah. Right. 1 point for me right now. And now I want to talk to you about I Am My Only Love. Now, I think this was your debut album. Now, I want to know all about it. Who produced this?
So that was my debut single, and Party Supplies produced it, and we co-wrote it together. And it was, he kind of had this idea formed, and it was so perfectly in that 80s pop realm, and it was as if when I heard his production, it was as if I had already known the song, like it was a classic. And I started hearing, the chorus melody over it, and we really just sort of jumped in and just laid down a couple vocals, and we didn't realize at the time that it was going to wind up being the song. And the takes that it was. And so it's just one of those moments when everything lines up. And then I flew out to LA, and I actually teamed up with my girlfriend, Nicole Sarah Glass, who I have grown up with, but is a video director. And we drove out to the desert to Joshua Tree, and we shot a really, really, really low budget music video for it, which wound up actually being really fun. And, it was premiered on the Fader, and it had this huge sort of response that I was not expecting at all. It was just making music that I loved and a video with my girlfriend, and it was one of those sort of surreal moments when it actually sort of took off.
I absolutely love moments like that. I really, really do. So I've got to admit, we got to move on. So let's get it underway. Here is Baby Raptors, I Am My Only Love, at Galaxy 107 FM. Love this track. Absolutely love this track. And for you guys that are online right now watching this, may I recommend that you go and check out the Baby Raptors. Believe me, you can't go wrong here. Are you comfortable there, Tora?
Yes.
Nice.
Is my sound okay? Because I've just switched over out of headphones.
Your sound is absolutely perfectly fine.
Great.
I got to thank you for taking time out. It must be about dinner time over there right now to talk to us.
Nothing could be more fun than this, I have to be honest, so.
Nice. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm drawn to a picture just over your shoulder there of a man and a woman and a rose.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't realize that was right behind me. That's my parents on their wedding day.
Awesome. Stunning couple.
Very 80s.
Oh, that's lovely.
She looks like her mum.
Yeah, well, Barbara says you look like your mum. I got to absolutely concur.
I know, I do. Thank you. I take that as a massive compliment because she is one of the great beauties, I think.
Well, I got to agree with you. And
he's probably also listening too, so I think I get brownie points for that.
Awesome. Oh, I see you got John with you? Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to go beyond.
No,
absolutely not. So the next song we have is "Be Your Girl." do you need a drink or anything? Are you comfortable?
Oh, I'm comfortable.
Sweet, awesome.
Yeah.
The last band I was talking to from New York was a band called Inoculated Canaries. They were in Manhattan, if I remember right.
They were.
That's a clever name.
It is, isn't it? It really is. I tell you what, the young lead singer, my goodness, has he got a future ahead of him?
Really? I'm going to check them out.
Yeah, do that.
Hi, Thornell. He's saying hi to everyone.
Oh, Thornell, good morning or good evening over there. Thank you, my bro.
Lee Grimshaw.
Yeah, hi, Thornell.
Yeah.
Hey, say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
Oh, hi, Thornell.
Honestly, he's my man. He really is.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He's so cool. He came on set for the Warriors music video, and that was a really fun experience to have him see everything, the magic being made.
Nice.
Yeah, it would be exciting.
We do a lot of work not only with Thornell, but also his brothers as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Family affair.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, covers not only America, but Canada as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of work.
Our neighbors to the north.
Yeah, we get a lot of work. But, I was saying to you about New Zealand and Australia, we give each other a bit of stick. It's much like you Americans and Canadians. I think that's an ice hockey thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, it's friendly. It's friendly competition,
Well, you got to put a bit of banter in there, don't you?
Yeah, you got to take a little poke now and again.
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with it. By the way, the last time I was in New York, we actually played at the Garden.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did.
Never heard of it.
No, it's round and they say it's square. Madison Square Garden, but it's round. Hold on. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 21 after 11 o'clock and 16 degrees. We've gone over our high, yay. We're coming into summertime too. Have you noticed how early it's getting lighter in the mornings? That means over where you are in New York, you've got nothing but snow in your future.
Yeah, our summer just ended. Thank you for rubbing that in. That feels like a fresh
Oh dear, sorry about that. Sorry, I've just been told off. I forgot to put the plug in. No worries though. It is only 109 days away from Christmas. Did you know?
Like, who's counting?
Yeah, nobody over here, believe me. But except, you see, we come into summertime at the Christmas period. You guys go into winter, and we see lots of nice wintry stuff in summertime. But we're at the beach.
I know, that always made me wonder though, did you guys, get all of the Christmas decorations out while, you are having your summertime, or how does that work? It seems so backwards.
It is pretty backwards, if you want a way of putting it. Yes, we do get out the Christmas tree with all the baubles and everything that go with it, including the bunting and you name it. We really do go overboard, but it's really weird celebrating a cold festive season in the heat of summer.
Yeah. I would imagine. It must be really tough for you guys.
No, not at all. We don't mind having a cool one at the beach. Thinking of you guys knee deep in snow, you know, you can have that stuff. We don't like it, actually. Believe me, over where we are here in Komodo, in the Bay of Plenty, we're on the eastern side of the North Island, which is one of the biggest, well, actually the biggest of the islands, 3 islands, and it's not that cold. I think we complain if we get down to like a 1 degree.
Okay.
That's Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit.
I know, I'm doing the math in my head right now.
Nice. So right now, I think if you work it out right, we might be about 30 plus.
Ooh.
Yeah? Feel then? Okay. Somebody's saying, yeah, go on, Grant, move it on. So, I got to ask you, Tora, about your fan base and how they can get hold of you. Our fans want to know, are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? And do you respond?
I'm on all of them. If you search Baby Raptors, it should, come up immediately. There's not too many Baby Raptors out there. And I'm really hands-on. I run all my own social media, and I love connecting more than anything to people around the world, especially if they, are connecting with my music. And, people send me their music. I listen to it. I respond. It's all about community, and it's one of the great pleasures, and I'm humbled when people take the time to reach out to me.
I'm going to feel sorry for you now because over 5.5 million people logged in right now, frantically searching the internet to find out how they can get hold of Baby Raptors. Now, how did the name come about?
Everyone always wants to know the answer to that question. And, I wish I could say that it had this really unbelievable story, but it just sort of popped into conversation at one point. Somebody said Baby Raptors, and I said, that sounds like a really cool name for a band. I keep a running list on my phone of band names. It's really more for a joke, but that one just kind of stuck with me. And when I wanted to start this project, and I knew I'd be collaborating with a lot of different people in Brooklyn, I thought it would be cool to step away from my own persona and create something that could be a bit more group-oriented. So, and who doesn't love cute baby dinosaurs? It's just kind of a no-brainer.
It is an attractive thing, I've got to be honest with you. And we will be, I usually say to people, we do this live on Facebook, and I really thank everybody that's tuned in right now. But we convert it over to YouTube, where that'll be around until the dinosaurs come back. Well, maybe the dinosaurs are here.
They're back, baby, they're back.
They really, really are. And I've seen, because I thought it was to be quite honest, I thought you were dedicating the name of your band after a particular toy that I've seen on the Facebook thing.
Well, we do have, the logo is so fun with the raptor head, and we've printed them on yo-yos, and obviously on my vinyl and my CD, I'm actually walking a raptor on a leash. So we've had a lot of fun with it.
Now, I got to, and I'm going to be talking about this very, very shortly, but I've got to admit, you have a little catchy thing on the internet right now where you can download an app. And I want to talk to you about that because our fans want to know about this particular thing, and I think you're the best person to explain it.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this. It's really the first of its kind. So if you go on the App Store, Android or iPhone, and you download the Baby Raptors app, which is free, basically, if you follow the app instructions, it opens up the camera on your phone. And if you place the CD artwork, the front or the back, which you can also view online, so even up to a computer screen, when you hold the camera up to this artwork, it triggers an augmented reality. So basically, the dinosaur comes to life and starts dancing. And then on the back cover, the Strings music video actually starts playing, and it has incredible tracking, so you can take photos with it, and it's very interactive.
You know, I absolutely love that. That is so forward-thinking, and believe me, I love forward-thinking people, and I think, to be quite honest with you, it's going to be an absolute pleasure following you through your career. I've got to be honest with you, Tora. You are literally, I can see you taking away Grammys left, right and centre in your career. I really can, especially having Thornell as a good friend. So I can see that you're going to be very, very influential in the music industry, and I'm so pleased with the way that you're presenting this music, especially with the 80s build. I got to admit, I'm kind of partial to a bit of that myself, so I can relate to it. Now tell me about Be Your Girl.
Be Your Girl was one of the first collaborations I did when I brought John Young and Randy Runyon into Baby Raptors. And it's actually based on a true story. I wrote it about being in a love triangle that I was in, and never fun to be in one of those, but I was vying for this man's heart, and he was sort of torn between me and another woman. And so basically the song is just about putting yourself out there and just saying how you feel, because if you never say, you might never know. So,
you know, that's great advice, but yeah, the subject matter is rather interesting, I've got to be honest with you. Can't say I've been lucky enough in my life to experience such a thing, but, you know, always nice to be able to get a view of things. So, without further ado, I think I better not talk myself into trouble right now. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, of course, with Tora Fisher and Baby Raptors, Be Your Girl.
Ryan, I'll get Tora to maybe message you with the questions you've asked.
Okay.
It's about the app, how to use it.
Right. Is this Ryan Neville?
No, Ryan Dior.
Ryan Dior. Welcome along, Ryan. Yeah, we'll absolutely get that information to you as soon as possible. And I'm sure Tora Fisher will be more than happy to be able to guide you through it. Hey, how you feeling there, Tora?
Feeling good.
Nice, nice. You haven't got cheeky to me yet. I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, well, you're just so nice, it's kind of hard to give you a hard time.
Oh, come on. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I'm not nice.
Oh, well, dear.
So, don't worry, I won't tell anyone that.
Yeah, don't do that at all, please.
They'll all be able to see it soon.
Yeah, everybody's going to go, oh no, he's too nice, it's Dave Letterman. Hey, dear, dear, dear. So, the next song up is Time is Money, and as I said to you earlier on, this is a huge, huge response. Literally huge response. People are just going nuts over this song, and you said you were surprised about that, so we'll have a chat about that. But at the same time, I want to talk to you about possibly working something out to be able to get you down here, down under, in front of New Zealand audiences, because believe me, we would absolutely love to see you perform live.
Yeah, it's always better when you can be in front of people.
As long as she can bring her
absolutely,
unicorns.
absolutely. Sorry?
As long as she can bring her unicorns.
As long as she can bring her unicorns.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. I'm a unicorn believer, but she's played the Unicorn Carnival.
Yeah.
I know this, so yeah.
Hi, Dan Washburn.
Dan Washburn's on my flyboy buddy. Dan loves aeroplanes, and so do I. I love to fly, so we have a chat. Awesome Canadian, and he comes from Ohio. Have I got that right?
Ontario.
Ontario, that's right. Yeah, I knew it was right. But we actually just received some CDs from him today. We're doing a promotion for him. And I'm also going to...
very cool.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about that very, very shortly as well, because we would love to be able to do one with you as well. So Dan must have you along. So let's go back to the
There's a bit of
and
talking in
be
between.
worried when I invite you down here down under that we
Go
actually
back to
do
the
a
radio
few crazy
thing.
things down here. So I'm going to see how game you are.
Okay.
Right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by Tora. And see, it's just rolling off the tongue now, isn't it?
You got it now.
I've got it. I've sunk that one. Absolutely nailed it. Coming out of New York, especially Brooklyn, New York. I love Brooklyn. I really, really do. Now, at the same time, Tora, when we started the show here with you, we played a song called Strings. Now, we haven't actually touched on this in any manner, and I think it needs the appropriate attention. I really, really do. Especially, you were saying at the same time, you mentioned something about yo-yos. Now, I want you to tell me about the yo-yo guy.
Oh, okay. So, world champion yo-yoer Gentry Stein, who is a really, really cool guy and a good friend of ours now. But when I wanted to make the music video for Strings, I had this idea of a yo-yo because obviously it's attached to a string, and I thought it would be a fun play on the words. And when I realized that Gentry Stein existed, and not only was he so adorable and so talented, but he was so sweet and he loved the song. So I brought him over to New York. He lives in California, and he co-starred in the music video with me. And he just did such a fantastic job, and we just thought it was such a fun collaboration that we made a limited edition Baby Raptors yo-yo. So you can actually buy those on our website on babyraptors.com, which I am terrible at yo-yo, but I love it so much. I wish that I were better, but, Gentry is literally, world champion. He's incredible, and it's just this sort of weird, fun thing that came together.
I believe that people are born with a certain talent, and it makes other people look stupid trying to imitate it, if you know what I mean.
I definitely look stupid, that's for sure.
Believe me, I absolutely look stupid in a number of things, believe me, but from time to time I get something right. Now, at the same time, we were discussing about Australia and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I've got to let you know that coming out of Cairns, Australia, there is one lady who listens in every interview, and she only ever asks me the one question. Now, I've been doing this for about 4 years, so I've done it once or twice, right? And her only question to me is, Grant, please can you ask Tora, what's your marital status?
What's my what?
Your marital status. Are you married? Single?
My married status. I am married, but I hope no one takes offense to this when I say that I am married to an Australian.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, she's going to be absolutely ecstatic, elated about that information. I got to be honest with you, but that is a good segue now to be able to get you to discuss with me about maybe the possibilities of having you play here in New Zealand, down under, maybe a few shows here, and just maybe, even if you bring your boyfriend or your husband, we might be able to even...
I'll leave my boyfriend at home. I might bring my husband with me.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's that three-way thing. I love that idea. I really do. But either way, you got a really, really good way into Australia. So you never know. We might be able to set up something in Australia. So it's worthwhile having you come down here, down under.
Yeah, you don't have to twist my arm. I've been wanting to go over to Australia and to New Zealand for a few years now. It's such a long trip from Brooklyn, but I hear that it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And if people are actually enjoying my music over there, then I'm not sure what else I would need to be convinced about. It's time for me to get over.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, it isn't too far away to the airport. I got to be honest with you. It's just down the road, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's one way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's only a flight away between you being there and being here. And of course, a great idea to be able to bring your Australian husband. We'll be able to test out our theories on things, to be quite honest with you. And I can give you a list of things that you can get him to say, which absolutely make us laugh here in New Zealand. I really, really can.
He says a lot of things that make me laugh, but probably for different reasons.
Yeah, look, okay. Okay, fair enough. But at the same time, we do a few crazy things here in New Zealand. And are you up for a couple of challenges, maybe?
Well, that depends. Are you going to give me some context here, or am I just going to go right into the lion's den?
Definitely right into the lion's den, but I'll give you a bit of context as well. Have you ever heard, and believe me, this is not the word you think I'm meaning, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
No.
Okay.
No, what is that?
Surely you've heard of a caterpillar, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a caterpillar on steroids. It's a double-decker bus. It is huge, absolutely big and fat, and it's white with a black head. And what you do is you put the whole live body in your mouth, bite off the head. Don't eat the head, it's yucky. But when you crunch down, it's like creamy peanut butter.
The only issue with that is that I am vegan, so I don't eat animals or caterpillars.
That's okay. I will give you some vodka to go with it. How's that?
Well, that sounds like it might wash anything down.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like importing our own. I'll give you a funny one. We usually ask through the interview for people to send us stuff, and I'm going to ask you this as well, so that we can do competitions, which I mentioned with Dan Washburn earlier on. So when you have an album or something like that, how would you like to forward that to us so that we could actually do a competition? Keep, of course, the Baby Raptors rolling here at galaxy107fm. But at the same time, I usually say, hey, listen, how about sending me some moonshine? And, well, you know something? I have only received one version of moonshine, but the band actually came here to deliver it to me personally, but nothing through the mail. So I'm kind of thinking that customs is getting drunk on me.
You know, I actually know somebody, and by the way, this is a very Brooklyn thing, that I know somebody who makes their own moonshine. So I might just be the second person to actually send you moonshine.
Nice.
Maybe I'll come over and I'll give it to you in person.
Well, there you go. You see, there was a band called Leafroy's, and, well, Barry Leafroy brought some over. He came over for a weekend, had a little look around, and went on back, him and his lovely wife, and had a great time here in New Zealand. And, of course, we, after he left, I actually tore into it, to be quite honest with you. Boy, was I educated in the morning, let's put it that way.
Oh, that is some serious stuff. That will knock you for six.
Mate,
for sure.
It got me tore up from the floor up.
I love that guy. You tore up from the floor commandeer that comment.
Please do, because believe me, it's the truth. It really, really is. 90%, I think, offhand. It was absolutely brilliant. But at the same time, we have spoken to customs, and they said, no, it's okay. You know, it's no problem with us. We'll pass it through with a $20, you know, fee on top. We'll, you know, hey, listen, a couple of litres of that for $20, I'm in. I am in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now, at the same time, my friend, you have heard, of course, I'm sure you've heard of this, the Lord of the Rings series?
I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so yes.
Right, so just a few kilometres, about an hour and a half from where we are right now, is actually where Middle Earth is. We could take you there and show you the whole set if you would be interested in having a look around there.
That would be unreal.
Nice, absolutely brilliant. But at the same time, I don't know, Barbara, we could take her down the bottom of the South Island, throw her off a bridge. What do you reckon?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? We could throw you off a bridge.
Just let me know which option we're going to go with that day.
Well,
That'd be great.
Well, you have two with that particular one. The first one, seeing you're not Australian, we'll actually attach the bungee. Right? The second one is...
Well, that's kind of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Put you in a huge ravine. Absolutely stunning scenery. I always look in it, you know, if I'm going to die, it might as well be in good scenery. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think maybe also an acoustic guitar so I could be doing a set on my way down. That would be cool.
That is absolutely doable. I can do that for you, to be quite honest. It is fun. Yes, of course, we're talking about bungee jumping here in New Zealand as well. But we still like the finer things in life, where we could take you to the biggest city in New Zealand called Auckland, take you out on the harbour and have dinner out there in the evening, just what absolutely picturesque.
That sounds amazing. I love a good, you know, good meal overlooking a harbor, a little bit of the fine things in life from time to time never hurt anybody.
Absolutely, and I fully agree with you, and I think you deserve the finer things in life. In fact, I know you're coming from an area where the finer things in life are expected sometimes, don't you think?
A little less so in Brooklyn. We're a little bit more crunchy granola over here, but definitely has its moments.
Nice. Don't put Brooklyn down. I absolutely love Brooklyn, and the people who live in it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, let's support Brooklyn.
That's why I love it.
So I've got to move on. I've got my producer going in my ear that time is money. You can relate to this. Tell me about Time is Money.
Time is Money is a really fun single. It's actually one of my favorites, but I did not know that it was getting so much love over there. So that is fun to hear about. I wrote it about... I kind of have this thing with time. I have a relationship with time where I always feel like I'm on borrowed time. I always feel like there's never enough. And so... Time is Money is basically like a stream of consciousness out of my brain about how you just can't waste any single second and you just gotta go for it.
You know, I can fully relate to that. I really, really can. And as we work up to the premiere of Warriors of the Weekend coming next, here is the Baby Raptors and Time is Money. It's actually quite warm in here, isn't it? The statistician just told me that we're going through the roof right now.
Really? With calls or?
Actually with all sorts of things. We're getting requests, we're getting calls, we're getting emails for all sorts of stuff from the Baby Raptors. So a lot of it is actually, and I'm gonna actually ask you this, when you got your next work, would you come back so that we could do this again? We would love to be able to continue playing a lot of your stuff. At the same time, if you've got any products, send them to us. We would love to do a competition and give them away to our listeners. And believe me, it keeps you in the realm.
I would love to do that. You are going to have a nice big care package coming your way.
Nice. Plenty of swag. I love that. And I'll tell you what, we get bands that send us stuff all the time. And when I'm doing these interviews, so sometimes you see, I wear these. Today I'm dressed by Galaxy, which is really funky, but I usually wear other bands' April, if you know what I mean, which is a subliminal message. Check them out, you know what I mean? And people do.
Although that t-shirt is not so subliminal.
No, it's pretty blatant, isn't it?
It's pretty out there.
Yeah, absolutely. At the same time though, I'll get Barbara to send you all the details, and
yeah, that would be great.
Would you, the next time you're in the studio, would you do me some, I think you guys call them voiceovers or liners, we call them stingers here, saying, hi, this is me, such and such, galaxy107fm, stuff like that, because we would love to get, because we do actually play a lot of those here, and we'd love to keep you
going. If you just tell Thornell the copy of what you want me to say, or just sort of the options, and I'll send you back a few options.
Awesome.
He's still here, Thornell.
Yeah.
He likes the idea of the giveaways, and he's put the app for the program, and yeah.
Great.
He laughed at, leave the boyfriend at home. Leave the husband and bring the boyfriend. Yeah,
bring Thornell instead.
Yeah,
there you go. Let's go back to the desk. Right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 10 away from 12 o'clock, it is 15 degrees, yeah, I knew we were going to make it, Thursday, September the 6th, or September the 5th over in New York right now, Brooklyn, New York, joined by Tora Fisher from the Baby Raptors, and of course Thornell's joining us live on Facebook as well. Thank you for joining us, Thornell. Now, at the same time, summer's starting to sort of move along and come our way, so there's not a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Have you got any festivals or any gigs lined up in the very near future?
Well, I had just completed 6 weeks on tour, opening up for Time Flies and Bryce Vine. And so I'm actually back in the studio at the moment working on what is going to be next and what the next sound is. So I'm sort of on the opposite end of the spectrum, but of course there will always be shows coming up. But probably just keep it local while I'm working on the evolution of Baby Raptors.
You know, I absolutely love that, and I've got to ask you, when you produce your next work, please, will you send it to us? We would love to be able to do a little release of your latest work, but that is a good segue right now into why we're here and why we're doing this right as we speak with Warriors of the Weekend. We're going to be premiering it as we speak right now. So literally, and I've been waiting to be able to talk to you about this, get this out there. I absolutely love this track. Tell me all about it.
This is my favorite track. Oh, I love this track so much. I had so much fun making it with John Young and Randy Runyon. I co-wrote it with Randy, and I co-produced it with John and Randy. And it is supposed to be this sort of weekend anthem. And I have a few girlfriends, Katie and Christina, shout out to you girls here in New York. And they inspired me because I call them the weekend warriors, because they never quit. They're always up for a good time. They're always up for a party or, to meet up with friends. And I'm a bit of an introvert, so I have sort of looked to them for inspiration to get out of my comfort zone and go out and have some fun. And so it's really just about sort of getting past your day job and really letting your freak flag fly from time to time.
This is coming now. You are bringing them with you, right?
Yes, of course. They will be in the entourage.
Nice. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely looking forward to that, because believe me, I'm up for it. I really am up for it. And I'm one of these guys that'll do almost anything within reason. Of course, you never know. We might even get arrested within the first 24 hours of meeting. But it's always about experience, isn't it?
Sign of a good time.
It is. We can't send you home without a record of sorts.
We'll be spinning records and we'll be getting a record.
Yeah, creating records, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So, without further ado, and believe me, Tora, I have been wanting to play this for so long, and I got to thank Thornell Jones Jr. for passing and working with me to be able to get this to our teams, to be able to get you right here, right now, with the premiere of Weekend Warriors. Here is the Baby Raptors on Galaxy 107 FM.
Thornell's coming with Tora.
I'm so excited to see people's reaction to this one.
Yeah, I tell you what, I will keep you informed. I'll make sure Barbara keeps you informed for sure, absolutely. Because
that would be so amazing of you guys. I'd really appreciate that. It's hard sometimes. You feel like you're making music in a vacuum, and you just never really get to see what people think.
Well, let me tell you from a perspective of being an engineer and a DJ and all of the above. I've been an engineer for about 37 years, and I've not only done studio engineering but also live concert stuff, and we toured around the world with a number of bands. So I don't listen to music as a fan would listen to it. I listen to it as an engineer. I break it down in its increments, and quite frankly, Tora, I can't fault your work.
Oh my gosh, wow. That's a massive compliment, because I know that you're listening with a very different, discerning ear, so I really appreciate you saying that.
Well, yeah, not only me, but you see, the whole staff here that work here, and there's a number of us, we all have the one goal. Basically, we want to be the tail that wags the dog, so it's got to be good. We love your work.
Thank you. Well, thank you for giving it a platform, because without that, I can make all the music in the world, and it's just, if people don't hear it.
I got to be honest with you, Tora, now that you've done an interview with us, you're family, you're part of the Galaxy family. So hit us up, literally, and I would love to be able to promote you more and more through your years.
I would love that. I would love to have you guys premiere, something in the future.
Nice.
Be the first one out the gate.
And I got to tell you, when you get your first Grammy, think of us.
You won't be with me?
Unfortunately, Thornell won't fly me over.
Or now.
We're
going to have to have a word with old Thornell Jr.
Exactly, we are, because believe me, I would be honoured to be able to be there to witness that event. I really, really would.
Well, your family, it's mutual, your family as well, for, being a smaller indie artist at this stage is everything.
We get behind good indie artists. We always get behind good work. And
you guys have a good team. You guys must have a good ear. So
we do. We know our job. Let's go back to the desk.
Yep, back to the radio.
Yep. Did you get that right? you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. There's 2 away from 12 o'clock, still 15 degrees, you see. I knew we were going to get there. Thursday, September the 6th, joined by Tora Fisher coming from the Baby Raptors. And Tora, absolutely love being able to do premieres, and that was absolutely an exceptional way to build in to that particular track of Warriors of the Weekend. Looking forward.
Thank you so much for premiering that. That was such a cool moment for me.
Well, you know, it is a stunning song. We absolutely love your work. We really, really do. And would absolutely be honoured if you would join us again with some new work in the near future.
Yeah, I would love that. Have you seen the music video for Warriors of the Weekend yet?
Yes, I have.
Did you like it? It has a lot of that 80s motif going on.
Yeah, but that's me. I love that stuff. I really, really do.
You love that?
I tell you what, let me introduce you to a couple of bands. One's Inoculated Canaries. Go and have a look at some of their stuff. You will absolutely love that as well. And another band...
I love the name, so that's a good start.
Well, another band that we're following quite vehemently right now, to be quite honest, is a band called Greta Van Fleet. Have a look at those guys. And the young lead singer from Greta Van Fleet is like a modern day Led Zeppelin band.
Ooh.
Yeah, he sounds like a very, very young Robert Plant. And believe me, keep an eye on those guys in the near future. I think there's a bit of competition there, but we can't compete with the style that you've come out with, and we absolutely love it. We hope you keep that up in the future.
Yeah, I think I'll always have that sort of 80s feel to it, but yeah, people just seem to really love it as much as I do, but I make it because I love it, so it's nice that people share in that.
Absolutely. Well, somebody who's actually lived through the 80s, yeah, that long ago. Barbara just gave me a face where, oh my God, you're that old. Yeah, actually, that long ago. But it's nice to have that feel come back again, to be very honest with you. It's an exciting way of bringing it back to life. And I've got to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Nice little, nostalgic aesthetic for you.
Believe me, took me down memory lane in a whole new way. You know,
I think I was just born in the wrong decade, because I really, really just relate to it. When I was on set and in costume and playing this, sort of powerhouse boss in the 80s, I was like, I am really in my element right now.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I have actually experienced the 80s of San Francisco. I got to be honest with you. I went there for a wee while and got caught up in the scene at the time. Wonderful, wonderful era, I got to admit with you. And I've been in and out of America many, many times over the decades. So believe me, there's things that you experience that you just don't. You got to live it. You really got to live it. And of course, sometimes you hear music and you will always remember what you were doing when you hear that song, you know what I mean? And it's nice to have somebody giving a reinsurgence of that style to today's music. Got to thank you for that.
You're welcome. I do think it carries a bit of nostalgia with it, even though it's sort of fresh and it's modern and it's fun. I think when you listen to it, it sort of takes you to another time and another place.
Well, I want you to go back to Party Supplies and John Young and Evan and thank everybody for creating this. And please, on behalf of us here at Galaxy 107 FM, don't stop making it.
I won't, and thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for having me and playing all of these songs in a row. What a cool experience. Thank you.
It has been absolutely our pleasure. Yes, we must move on right now, but please, Tora, don't go anywhere just yet. We've got just one more thing that we do. Well, actually two, but one of them you're going to want to not know about, literally. But in the meantime, here's Peter Cetera and Amy Grant. The next time I